Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to the Big Blue Offensive Podcast with Mike Trainer, Jay Jules, and John Depot. Hey, what's up, Giants fam? Welcome to the Big Blue Offensive Podcast. I'm Mike, that's Jules, that's John. We are back again with another fine episode. This week, after like a little bit of a hangover week, fantasy football draft with my partner over here, Jules. That was a long night for you, Jules. A little bit of a late night.
I think it's still going, and that was Sunday.
I left there, man. My team is fucking stacked. I got my guys. I got everybody I wanted. They let me have Christian McCaffrey for like $70. I was like, all right, I'll take him. And I wanted fucking the two tight end set I wanted to run with again as one of my flex. So I got, Darren Waller and Kyle Pitts, my guy that I wanted the Giants to get. He's going to light it up, especially with Julio Jones not there. I can't believe you fools let me get him. It was fantastic.
Hey, let me get the Giants defense, which I'm actually going to be starting week 1. I don't give a fuck. Fuck that overrated orange, all right?
And I got John.
We'll get into the game because that's about the only thing I like about the Giants right now. So, I'm still not sure what Jules is going to show up to this pod tonight, but that's just somewhat of an indication, all right?
Oh, it might be the
I had another draft. I had another draft too, and what's great is these two drafts that I just did over the weekend. No offense to any of the other ones that I do, but this one that we do now has gotten really balanced. Like I looked over everybody's rosters as I was putting them in, and honestly, I think everybody did a pretty good job, and I like that. That makes the league fucking competitive. It's going to be like, all right, who stars do better and go right at the right time, and who makes good pickups. So that's the way these leagues should be. You hear all this shit all the time where people are like, oh, in your home league, you'll probably steal this guy and steal that guy. That shit don't happen in these leagues. You know what I mean? These guys, they go, they do their homework, and we put out good fucking teams. So definitely all to the guys that are listening, because I know all you are listening, right? That's all good fucking draft there.
You can see all the projections too. All the numbers, like the projection numbers, are kind of like the same. But I guess it always starts out that like way week 1. But whatever, man. John, do you do any like fantasy football drafts at all?
Zero
fantasy football. Yeah, I'm on like 5. Like,
I'm at 6 this year, like a fucking maniac. I'm only halfway. I got 3 down and 3 to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got 1 tomorrow, 1 fucking next week.
Fuck. I got 1 Friday, Monday, and Wednesday. Like, woo! Can't wait.
John, don't get into it, man. If you start getting into it, you'd be sucked in. You'd be like, it'd be like crack to you, man. You'd be doing it every fucking week, man.
Definitely.
Honestly, bro, I don't even think so. I tried fantasy, I think back like when it first came out. I think I actually did fantasy baseball. But 2 years ago, 2 seasons ago, my fiance did it with like a group of her friends. Like all the girls like did a fantasy league, and I was every weekend it was set the lineups and I was like, bro, fuck this shit. I had the slightest interest in fucking doing it. I like the Giants. I like football, and like that extra stuff. Like I don't know, it just
it makes you like follow like individual players more, and you start to like appreciate theirs. Like I like other players from other teams. Like I love Patrick Mahomes. I love a lot of like these guys, like my players or whatever. And by the way, I'm the owner of this fantasy league. I just want everybody to fucking know that. Okay, that's a little sidekick to somebody out there that wants to teach us how to talk like we're kindergartens. Should I just say it? Because there's listeners that don't know about it. So anyway, this fantasy football expert, this girl that was on Twitter, she left Twitter. She basically told us that we can't use the word owner as referring to fantasy football players or teams. They're teams. So you're not owning your team. You have to use like you have a roster, blah blah blah. So basically, she was trying to teach us how to use words. I'm like, how old are you and how old am I? And she got a ton of heat. Like I knew it was coming because I texted you guys. I'm like, you believe this shit last week? Like I wasn't going to be a jerk and go after her. But I tell you, man, it was some funny ass comments going after her. Like, because it was kind of rude and arrogant and like, you're like, get off your high horse we're talking about fantasy football. It's make believe. Like, stop it.
The first word is fantasy.
Right. I mean, does that give it away?
So if I like create an icon on fucking PlayStation or something like that, I'm no longer that icon, or I don't own that icon.
You don't own yourself.
Fucking thing.
fucking
man.
there's NFTs out there. Like people own that shit. Like I own a car, I own a house. Like what the fuck? Oh my god! But whatever. Like
Yeah, man, that was funny, and I appreciate that one.
it was just too much, man. But no, I mean, speaking of like all these fantasy sports and whatever, but we're gonna have like a little contest. Like we'll talk about this like right before our commercial break. But we got like a little pick and pool contest going on. We're gonna get you guys to subscribe, and there'll be a prize announced next week. But we'll get into that later. But guys, do you want to start? Like I'm assuming Jules, you're gonna be like the devil on my shoulder. John, you're gonna be the angel again because what a mess on this offensive line this past Sunday. Jules, we had the fantasy draft during that game, but I watched the game when I got home and the next day just to kind of relive that and see what was going on. And guys, what do you think?
John, do you want to go first?
Do you want me to go first?
John, give me the good news.
Go ahead. Let's start it off positive.
All right. So Andrew Thomas obviously had a horrific play to start off. Like basically worst case scenario.
Couple series. It wasn't a game. It was a couple series.
Yeah, exactly. So he started off bad, and then he progressively got better through the course of the game. Not what we're hoping for out of the 4th overall pick, but you know what? It's preseason, man. You can't just he's Eric Flowers and is done after fucking 17 plays. That's just ridiculous.
Once I seen that stupidity come on Giants Twitter, I wanted to kill people. How can you compare Andrew Thomas to Eric Flowers? Have you ever played or watched the game or don't get me started on that.
You just can't do that. You can't watch the games and then think that. So
I think the comparison
obviously fucking Daniel Jones didn't have a great play, a couple of them. But at the end of the day, man, they're running a vanilla offense. They're not trying to game plan for the defense they're playing. They don't have any of their stars out there, and he was able to complete 79% of his passes. Right? He had that sick throw to fucking Caden Smith. So there's positives to be taken out of the game if you want to look at them. If you choose to say, "Oh my God, it was a disaster. It was this, and that,"
that's true.
Yeah, sure. There was enough there for you to feel, vindicated in your negativity.
All right, bring on the fucking negativity.
But hold on, real quick. I'm gonna just kind of tee on that for a second, right? If we're gonna talk positivity, right? Oh, let's look at this. This guy did good. That guy had a good game. There was improvement here. You know what that talk reminds me of? It reminds me of how last season went down. Exactly. Oh, after the first game, Pittsburgh, it was just that. We didn't have a preseason. We didn't have this shit. It seems as if we're feeling good about a team just because we've seen them look better from one week to the next. Not if they win, not if they're in the first place, not if they got a shot at the playoffs. Oh, they look better and they improved. And that's all we talked about last year. That was our main focus. That was our main positive attitude. And then because the division sucked, that last month of the season got real interesting because all of a sudden now we were like, shit, we can make the fucking playoffs as this team. That all about was just improving week to week. Well, here we are in that second year and we haven't improved. So
bro, we haven't played. We haven't played though. We haven't played.
That's the scary part. All these other teams have. Mahomes is throwing like fucking 30 passes in the preseason. You look at Josh Allen. Josh Allen went fucking crazy for a half. That shit looked like they weren't missing a beat. We come out, we're flat. We're missing key players on offense. Andrew Thomas is getting blown by. And the only comparison to Eric Flowers is the fact that we took Eric Flowers in the first round. It was in a high draft pick, and we took him over other stars. Here we are. We took this guy with the 4th overall pick in front of 3 other tackles that are all off to better starts. Better starts. Didn't say he's the worst, but they're all off the better starts. So, yeah, that's a fair comparison. Sure, maybe he's more talented than Eric Flowers. Maybe he's doing better than Eric Flowers currently. But to see another first-round tackle when all these other guys went, look like this getting blown off the ball. Come on, bro, you played at Alabama. There was tons of speed rushes in the fucking SEC. You're not used to getting beat off the ball like that? What the fuck? That's like fucking high school shit, dude.
Well,
like, one thing that's the fucking things that you don't improve that. How do you improve that? If you miss a block, they do a stunt, you mix the wrong guy, fine. One time you misread a blitz, cool. You know what I'm trying to say? Like that shit's acceptable, but getting blown off the wall, come on, dude. No fucking chance in hell I could accept that.
Well, the very first sack that he gave up, like if you watch that, it looked like Daniel Jones maybe took an extra couple steps back. That he had time to step up a little bit and avoid that. So he could help out his offensive line in that way.
I'm pretty sure on that play,
that's a really good point.
Larson got pushed back into Daniel Jones.
Right.
So he didn't have room to step up. So apparently, the way at least I understand it is Thomas's job was to kind of ride him outside and create a pocket for him on the outside where Daniel Jones could then step up into the pocket, a la Tom Brady for 100 years. Right. So that was a big thing with Nate Solder too, is that was his thing. He wasn't ever bullying people. He was riding them out and around and taking them out of the play. And that's the same thing that Thomas did there. Maybe not as good, obviously, but the fact that Larson got blown up on the interior, that left Jones with no place to step up into the pocket and got sandwiched. And the sack, got hit to got on Andrew Thomas. He didn't play well. There's no one saying he's playing well, but I also don't want to take 4 drives in preseason, the first preseason game, and use that to completely disregard and flush down the toilet 8 games of solid play he had last year. The first few games of the season, he didn't play well. First 5, 6, 7 games, they fired Colombo and instantaneously he started playing better. He was rated as the 4th overall run blocking tackle in the NFL, not limited to rookies, but in the NFL. So from that aspect of the game, which is still 42, 45, 47% of the offensive snaps, he was good. And then he got better at pass blocking. I think he only let up a sack all the way from the Tampa game. I think it was just the Arizona game that he gave up sacks all the way through the rest of the season. That was it. So he played well, and I'm not going to just throw that in the garbage for a couple of bad snaps and a preseason game.
Most people have common sense that they wouldn't fucking let that happen, let that get to him. But when Giants Twitter fucking explodes over every little fucking goddamn thing, they make it seem like he's a fucking bust now all of a sudden.
But let me ask you this, though, and maybe I missed it, but at the very least, you're supposed to get a chip on that guy. You can't just let him fucking run clean like you're playing 2-on-2 touch football. And they were like, blitz.
He was running his shoulder.
Mississippi's and shit. Like, I mean, what did he do? He looked like he hit him. It didn't even look like he touched him. That dude didn't even break stride. You got to at least put a hand on him so you throw him off his trajectory. Like, you can't just let the dude come that clean. And I didn't see that. Right. So that's where I was
that's never been his problem.
Huh?
That's also never been his problem. That was just a player or two that wasn't great to start off the season. You also got to consider it's preseason, but once you put the full team out there, defenses are going to play you differently. Sure, they're still going to attempt to rush the passer, but you're going to have to fucking consider if Saquon Barkley's back there, if he's going to be getting a handoff or not. Even if it's 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, it's still liable that the Giants can run the ball with Saquon Barkley and fucking forget about getting a first down, but that could go for a touchdown because of a misassignment or whatever the story is. So
he'll be fine.
You're going to see a lot different play when that happens, especially
offensive linemen. You've seen it get better, John, in that game. Remember the series with the Caden Smith touchdown? Andrew Thomas looked fine that drive, right?
I'm just
how quickly it could change.
Right. But also here, real quick, here's a question. You keep saying when we're all out there, when the team is full, right? Can you guarantee that we're going to have a full fucking team week 1? Evan Ingram's questionable. Saquon ain't 100%. We don't even know where Tony is. We don't know what the fuck's going on with half this team. Galladay, is he really going to be ready in fucking less than 2 weeks? So what full team we throwing out there week 1?
Please.
Not to jump ahead of where, what we're going to be talking about this episode, but I think a lot of their roster moves today indicate exactly that.
For the line.
We can get into it whenever you guys are ready to get into that part of it, but I'm
ready to get into it.
Yeah, and obviously what we're getting ready to get into
to talk about as far as the preseason game is concerned.
The Giants went out, they saw what we had, and
there's
some truth to what we were talking about with the whole tackle situation, with them letting some of those edge rushers go to the outside, and Daniel Jones becoming more comfortable with stepping up. And what did we do? Literally within less than 48 hours, right before a huge roster cut, we go out, we made 2 trades for some interior linemen, not only depth moves, but those are going to be guys that are probably going to be playing a decent amount of football in the upcoming weeks. I'm just hoping that they can get on page quick enough where they'll be real contributors early on in the season.
Perfect world. You don't want them to be contributors. You want your starting 5 healthy and playing well.
I think Shane Lemieux. I don't know if Shane Lemieux is going to be ready. It seems like
he is either. That's the question.
He seems like a big what if, because after the fucking last preseason game, the past couple of days, our entire depth that was on our offensive line just disappeared. They either got cut, whatever. Like, I mean, I think when Larson got pushed all the way back, they pushed him out the stadium on the fucking preseason game. So he was out the door that fucking day. I tell you, man, I was shocked. Everybody's biggest complaint was like we needed backups, we need some depth. And now we fucking just made these fucking 2 trades. And there's one trade I like, and the other trade I'm like so on. The so trade is Price, the Price kid. I mean, I don't know what you guys really think of him, but I'm not that big of a fan on him. I'm not going to take the easy way out and say, just because he we got to trade from the Bengals and the Bengals have a shitty offensive line doesn't make him shitty. It's just I don't think he really proved himself in the league. What do you guys think about him? Because he's been hurt. I mean, he had a torn pec. He missed most of the season. He had foot injuries. He's the kid out of Ohio State. And he's not that athletic either. So I don't know. Maybe that's he takes over. He takes over Jonathan Haskins. Hankins. I mean, not Hankins. Haskins.
Early on in the draft.
I think it was a first-round pick.
Yeah, right. If I'm not mistaken, I thought it was first.
I'm pretty sure it was a first-round pick. Yeah, first or second.
I mean, I thought what happened to do with him. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry, but I think, because I'm going to be short. I think a lot of it had to do with injuries. He is a talent. Maybe he's not the most athletic, but there was a reason he was taken early in the draft. And I just think that it's just one of those type of things where if the kid could actually stay healthy, he could make an impact, with any team, or maybe would have had a better impact with the Bengals. But unfortunately, injuries have come that way and they've kind of derailed part of his career. So who knows? Maybe he revives it over here with the Giants. I don't know. That's really kind of all the insight I have on him currently.
21st pick in the 2018 draft.
Right. I mean, there's a reason. You know what I'm saying? And for the most part, I mean, I'm not sure if he even was able to start 16 games at any point in his career up until this point. So, I mean, as a guy that's a first-round pick that can take time to develop because he's not going to have to be thrusted into being a starter right away. Right. And you never know. I mean, if the guy can stay healthy, this kid could be a good fill-in for someone, or perhaps can maybe even jump into the starting lineup if he proves himself that much. Who the hell knows?
So I think that Will Hernandez has had an outstanding camp, so I think right guard's good. So the only question would be, you getting somebody to play the left guard position over Shane Lemieux. But I don't know, man. I think GMs and coaches, I think that they try to make it work with their draft picks rather than just throw them away if they don't have to. Obviously they liked, Lemieux enough to have him play basically 10 starts or whatever it was through the course of the season. And they're invested in him. So as long as he comes back, I think it's fine. This kid Price, Bobby Price, or what is that his name? Brad Price, something like that.
Bobby Price.
Price. Obviously, listen, you get drafted in, top 21 in the league. Obviously, you have to have some talent. There's got to be something there for you to be drafted that high.
Definitely.
Football's a very nuanced game. So maybe what he excels at isn't something that they need. They need something else for their offense to work, their personnel to work to their best. So maybe that's why they were just, hey, you know what? It hasn't worked here. The injuries has hurt his value. He's not going to be able to help us on the football field the way maybe the next guy would because of our scheme. And let's just get good defensive tackle for him. And that's what BJ Hill is. He's a good defensive tackle, and now they'll have him. It's a shame to see BJ Hill go, but
I think we said Bobby. It's Billy, right?
Billy?
Yeah. I know something like that.
I think because I was at a draft and they were calling Jules' brother Bobby Boucher, the fucking water boy. So I think that was in my fucking head the whole fucking time.
I think I'm still drunk from Sunday nights. I mean,
That's gonna be it. Well, the other pick, which I love actually, this I actually like. We gave up a 4th round pick for this kid, but he's a kid from Michigan. Not the most experienced guy because he was a rookie last year. So this will be his 2nd year. The Giants like these young players, so maybe he might fit in on this team and grow a little bit. But he was acquired for a 4th round pick. It's Ben Bredesen. He comes from a Baltimore Ravens stacked offensive line to begin with. They just didn't have any room for him to give up on a young player like that. It says something that we could be able to scoop him up for a 4th rounder. He could be the guy starting at left guard to open up the season. I mean, he does have 2 weeks of practice to get ready. So maybe he's the guy that steps in for Lemieux.
Yeah, maybe it's a combination, and it is Billy. So I do think it was probably just a hangover from fucking with my brother.
Had to be. Definitely had to be.
And of course, obviously, most of you weren't at the draft. So for that whole thing, he has a Bobby Boucher football jersey. So there was a big bright orange one, and it was just too easy to just not call him that. But anyhow,
don't you think that
it's Billy Price and Ben Bredesen? Those are the two that came over from the trade. And you're right. I mean, look, the Ravens, without question, have had one of the better offensive lines in football. I mean, you don't run in today's game like they do with their quarterback, running backs. I mean, shit, even Gus Edwards was having like decent fucking games for them without a tremendous offensive line. So you're right. You know what? You bring in this young kid, he's there as a depth piece for them in case one of the veteran guys got hurt. And at this point in time, they're still so stacked with what kind of a line they have that they don't necessarily need that backup. And a 4th round pick is what we got him for. And you know what? That's the perfect time here for this kid to come over, and he's got an opportunity, man. And you hope you're right.
Huge.
Yeah.
He's like 6'4", 315. That's insane.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So like, look, let's see, that would be a tremendous fucking value for the Giants.
So a lot of times in life, not just limited to trying to break down press conferences or anything like that, you take people at their actions more than you do at their word. And wouldn't it tell you that the day of the roster cut downs, the Giants literally, like you said, chopped off the entirety, except for Nate Solder, the entirety of offensive line depth. Doesn't that tell you that
they're winning now?
What happened?
They want to win now.
Well, they want to win now, but I just mean specific to the offensive line and specific to Shane Lemieux. I don't know that you cut somebody and then 2 weeks before the season starts, you're going to find your starting left guard. I think that's a pretty good sign that Shane Lemieux is going to be ready to go for week 1.
I hope so.
I think that, and that translates to the wide receiver room. That translates to the running back room. We'll get into those positions, obviously, but I think the actions the Giants have taken tell you exactly what you need to know.
Yeah, but let me ask you this: like, what about like they're focusing on the depth, so they're worried. Like, I understand, like, we got our 5 guys we're rolling with, but they are worried. Like, what if, God forbid, knock on wood, whatever you want to fucking do, one of our starters gets hurt? Like, we need somebody to be able to fucking step in and like be able to fucking play halfway decent. I think that's. I mean, I've never seen a Giants team or any team in the NFL just cut all their fucking backups and be like, hey, we need these fucking guys. They really did their fucking homework and they want these guys in there. So that's telling you, hey, we're trying to protect our investment or our money we paid in free agency to get these weapons to get Barkley back healthy. So like, they're trying to win, man. They're trying to win hard. And this is a telltale sign. I wouldn't worry about it. Don't sweat it. But this is important that they did this. They want to win, man.
Yeah.
Listen,
I just meant more from the Shane Lemieux playing week 1, not needing a street veteran to, fill in as our starting left guard. I think it's a good sign that all 5 offensive linemen are healthy and ready to go for week 1.
Well, I mean, and, obviously we'll get into this a little bit more next week and the weeks to come. But look, it's not like this division isn't still wide open. Say what you want. I'll fucking be the first, obviously, to talk shit about the Giants. But I'll talk shit about the rest of this fucking whack-ass division that already fucking Dallas was trying to sign Cam Newton because fucking he got cut by the fucking New England Patriots today, all right? And then you got fucking Ryan Fitzpatrick. Like, that shit don't scare nobody. Curtis Samuel's not healthy. So Washington ain't fucking running away with this fucking division. And don't even get me started on the fucking Eagles, please. I don't even want to waste my breath on that shit. So at this point in time, it's like, yo, we were right there last season. You know what? There was a couple of close games that they could have gone either way. And if they would have went towards us in our favor, we win the fucking division. So yeah, it's a fucking winnable division. There ain't no doubt about it. And could the Giants win the division fucking 8-9 this year? Yeah, they could. They fucking could. No. You can't tell me that 8-9 wins doesn't have a shot at this division this year. That's all I'm saying. And look, guys, we'll get into like a way more of this next week, because we're going to go back on record and make our predictions versus the ones that we made at the beginning of May. All right. And just see how that may change. Okay. That's the call for next week, folks. Just letting you know. All right.
Bill, I have to disagree with you, Jules, on that, because last year, listen, our whole division got wiped out by injuries, man. Like, it was devastating for like every fucking team, not just us. Everybody. That's why
Washington have.
Didn't they have like an offensive lineman go down, a couple wide receivers? Alex Smith went down with an injury. They had to go with that backup. So every quarterback pretty much got fucking banged up in that league. So everybody that says the NFC East sucks, like you're not really like paying attention. Our division is strong. Everybody got fucked up. That's all it was. And we just happen to be all in the same division where like, hey, we got a fucking shot, I hope it doesn't happen that way because that was kind of embarrassing. I'm not going to lie. I was like, I don't want to win like this.
My personal take is that the NFC East is trash and the Giants are going to be in first place by double the amount of games that the next highest team is going to have wins. So we're going to see.
We'll be okay, man. We got talent. We got fucking some good-hearted guys on the team. But let me just like remind everybody what our boy Andrew Thomas did. Like he didn't hide from like the media after that bad like couple series like the other day. He got up on the podium. He didn't have to be, but he fucking talked. He talked about his mistakes, exactly what he did wrong, what he needs to get better at. He did the professional thing. He's a fucking professional. That's what you want out of your, top draft pick from years. You think Eric Flowers would have ever got up behind that microphone and say like, "Oh, I suck. I was terrible. I'm fucking Eric Flowers. I'm fat and disgusting. I give up sacks and I try to trip people when they go try to hit Eli Manning." He was embarrassed. He was an embarrassment. Please don't fucking compare Andrew Thomas to him. It's just messed up. It's just really fucked up.
It's just disrespectful.
It really is.
Everything about being a Giants fan and like how the media and everybody and in turn all the rest of the fan bases treat the Giants, it's just disrespect. Like it's not even just like
then we need to do something about it. You know what? When you start getting disrespect, you need to step the fuck up and do something about it, right?
Punch him in the mouth.
Punch the bully back in the face.
Yep.
Like that's what the Giants need to do, man. They need to wake the fuck up and come out week 1 and ain't fucking preseason no more. And they need to fucking punch the Broncos right in the fucking face. And that's it. All right, give them your fucking shot. Go down the fucking field, score on the fucking opening drive or something. No turnovers, no big fucking sacks, no 3 and outs, none of that bullshit. And show the fucking league what's up. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the end of that. You know what? And hopefully with these additions, it's no more these dudes getting fucking smacked around up the middle. And maybe it was Andrew Thomas supposedly letting the fucking end guy run around and Daniel Jones supposed to step up into the pocket in that play. I don't fucking know. I didn't call the play. I don't know the exact play they were running. I don't know how it was designed. All I know is the dude ran by Andrew Thomas clean and Daniel Jones got sacked like it was a fucking sack of potatoes. That's it. That's kind of it with this offensive line because it's going to be a lot more for next week with the preview of the overrated orange.
Jules, there'll be plays to help the offensive line out, like a quick little screen, a little, end routes, a little fucking turnaround, fucking curls or whatever. There'll be some quick passes to throw that defensive front off to help, alleviate some pressure on the offensive line. So I think we'll be okay. But it's going to be a good test the first 2 weeks. I mean, Denver and Washington are no fucking slouch, man. It's going to be tough. And like I tell people, like there's going to be ups and downs, like every other NFL offensive line. There's going to be ups and downs every week. Nobody's going to be fucking perfect. You just got to you got to last the whole game. And I think we'll be okay because we have the endurance, we have the practice, we got a lot of practice in. I think these guys will be able to fucking, last the whole fucking game, maybe even an overtime game if we need to. I think we'll be that conditioned team because of the way our coaching staff's been preparing these guys. So we'll see.
So you're okay with 2-2 over the first 4?
No,
I want to be 4-0. I want to win every game, Jules. Like I'm insane.
Just saying.
Who's beating us those first few games?
Right, that's all I'm saying. Don't be shocked.
2-2, like
I would be shocked if we were 2-2 over the first few games.
Now look, maybe when we get everybody back, we have our full squad out there. We're just gonna fucking roll over people, bro. It's called rust. That's why the best guys are still out there performing. That's why you saw fucking Pat Mahomes in preseason. That's why you saw Josh Allen in preseason. All right, Daniel Jones, he looked rusty. Why? Because he didn't fucking have any real live action the whole fucking summer.
Dude, he was the most accurate. Yo, he was throwing
an interception in the end zone. Come on,
that was stupid. That was an Eli Manning stupid face. Fucking, we know that.
But did you see the breakdown of the play?
What's that?
Yeah.
Did you see the breakdown of the play? Let's go over this really quick.
Please.
3 consecutive plays at the goal line. Daniel Jones does that little fucking forward pass to Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram goes, takes it, and gets stopped at the fucking half-yard line. Like a fool. Like he just always does.
Fucking always.
What an idiot.
Right? Bro, just figure out how to get in the fucking end zone, bro.
You would think.
Figure it out. All right. So that was the one play.
That's one.
Stopped. Next play, they go to run the ball in. Again, they're like 18 inches away from the goal line. Evan Ingram gets blown up from the outside. That defender wraps all the way around and is able to fucking get to to the running back and holds him out of the end zone from behind at the 1.5 yard line or whatever the fucking shit was.
Yep.
Because Evan Ingram got blown up. So not only did he get stopped at the goal line, he allowed somebody to come in and make a stop. And then on that interception play, the notorious fucking career-breaking fucking interception in the end zone.
God forbid.
I didn't say that. I said rusty, guys. That's all I said. I didn't say rusty. You look rusty. That's a fair fucking thing to say.
No way. No way.
Possibly, but possibly not. That play, if you look at where Daniel Jones is throwing that ball, so there's a couple things that go into it here. On the other crossing routes that they ran, when Daniel Jones rolled out, the way it was set up was Evan Ingram was a step behind him. So he's running, and Ingram is a step behind him, so he can throw across his body, and he's able to hit him. So that was a couple of different times that happens. Now, fast forward to that play in the end zone. Not only does he run ahead of Daniel Jones, but also he would have been open with basically you call it an umbrella coverage around him with the safeties and the linebackers around him in such a way that if he would have sat down in the zone between the players, that would have been an easy touchdown. But he continued to run into the double coverage, allowing the ball that was being whipped to him because you have an instantaneous fucking window. You have to just hit it because he continued to run into the double coverage. That ball was taken up by a defender who was fucking 4 yards behind the play even was supposed to be there. So in 3 consecutive plays, Evan Ingram prevented a touchdown by not getting in the end zone, prevented a touchdown by getting blown up on a block, and then took any potential points off the board by not understanding what his role was on that fucking play.
So you're saying he fucked up
100% on what happened?
You're saying he fucked up.
Bro, I mean, come on, bro. You're talking about a series inside the fucking goal line. And again, this offseason, the Giants went ahead and got a 6'4" Kenny Golladay because he's a huge red zone threat. They got a 6'6", 6'7" fucking Rudolph.
Reindeer.
For exactly that fucking reason. To be able to go and be a red zone threat.
Yeah.
Right? Except here we go, right? Here we go, guys.
He'll be fine.
So old man Rudolph should have probably been in there, right? Because in all honesty, and in a normal situation with him healthy, at least on that one play, he's in there to block because that's what he's fucking really good at, right? But here's the problem.
That's touchdown.
He's like that fucking old Camaro that you're still trying to hook up in the fucking garage.
Yeah, stop.
And that shit never gets out because it just ain't ready because it's too fucking old, right?
Yeah,
right? That's what the fuck's up with him. I don't know.
Stop, Jules.
Let his ass go. They were like, peace out, bitch.
Bro,
yo, Jules, I gotta
be honest about what we're talking about.
You're crazy, Jules. You're fucking crazy because I watched the game and listen, I'm a big Daniel Jones supporter, obviously, but like my man, his accuracy is off the fucking charts, man. He puts the ball in these guys' hands where they can make those yak yards after the catch. There's no fucking balls behind him. There's no balls fucking 10 feet up in the air where these guys got to, jump up, catch the ball and fucking fall down immediately. Like, he gives them in perfect fucking position, man. And, he's always had that. He's had that at Duke when I watch him. Because I watch fucking games betting on fucking Duke. He was putting balls in these fucking kids' hands, but it wasn't a basketball, so these kids were dropping them. But I tell you, like, that dude is a legit accuracy, man. If he just has a little bit of time, yo, I'm telling you, sky's the limit. And that's why I drafted him for $1. And I'm going to fucking destroy this.
All right. So there's a couple of stats you could talk about from that standpoint, those advanced analytics that these nerds talk about. From a clean pocket, Daniel Jones had the 4th highest rating in the entire league last year. Without Saquon Barkley.
That's just because he had so little attempts.
It doesn't matter. It's not like he had 3 attempts. He had dozens of attempts. And he was the best quarterback in the league.
Pockets. He had like 5.
Okay.
Listen.
I had to throw that one in on that. Really? No, because look, when you guys are saying
you out.
Jones was supposed to step up in a pocket, right? That's Russ, dude. because when you're doing all that practice shit,
I give you that
jersey on, you're not fucking stepping up into the pocket because no one's gonna hit you, right?
I give you that
awareness and some kind of rust. That's all. He shook it off. He looked good on the next drive. I'm not saying he didn't, but then he throws an interception in the end zone. And at the end of the day, no matter, I don't give a fuck who screws up. That shit gets tipped. It gets whatever. It's still going on his shit. He's still got an interception. Like it ain't against nobody else. So I guess it's still it.
If the play is there, you throw it away.
He's missing a few things. He was rusty. That's it. I'm not saying he's not going to shake that shit off. I'm not saying he didn't look better on the other drives. But that's what him not playing so much in the preseason can end up doing to somebody. And now you're bringing him out there with missing weapons. It only makes it worse because his timing is not going to be right with the Galladays, with Tony, with fucking Rudolph. Now Ingram, like, bro.
I get
bro, that's not the type of offense they're going to be running where you need to have the perfect timing, precision. You have big body receivers. You have guys that can get open. It's not that fucking serious that we're going to be performing brain surgery out there, bro. You got real deal football players that can get open and make fucking catches.
I hope so, John. I hope you're right, but Jules got a fucking good point, and I kind of, I agree with him because when you practice and you're practicing in the games, practice makes perfect. Like they always say, what you do in practice, you're gonna do in the games, and he does need that he needs the timing with these fucking guys. It's a shame that they're not fucking playing, but listen, Daniel Jones, like I said, he's accurate. I think he's gonna do okay. I'm hoping he gets all his fucking weapons. He needs a little time. And then let's see what he does with the football. Like as far as Rusty goes, I didn't really see like the rust in that aspect of him throwing the ball and nothing like that. But maybe sensing the pressure around him. But hey, listen, we crushed this fucking offensive line. Hopefully these fucking new guys come in and fucking play good, and then we'll be okay. But you guys
want to which we have the 53-man roster that we now have to talk about because it's definitely a couple of picks that we're a little shocked over. But Mike, I think a quick commercial break and then we'll get back to that.
Absolutely. Let's take a quick commercial break with the 53-man roster. Let's see who get to keep their jobs. We'll be right back on the BBO NYG podcast. All right, guys, we are back with the BBO NYG podcast. Jules, you want to go down through the 53-man roster? Who's surprising? Who made the team? Like who made the team? What cuts happened, man?
I almost want to throw this back to you there, Mike. Because one guy that stands out, this was your surprise. This is part of your starting five. Oh man. I have to bring it up, but Jonathan Harrison got cut.
Yeah.
I don't even start, dude.
All right. I'll eat crow on this one. Obviously, I wanted Nick Gates to switch to left guard, and I wanted Jonathan Harrison, which he did play well in the preseason. Like, he was actually the only bright spot that I seen with my fucking eyes. I don't think he allowed a pressure. I think he did okay. Maybe not so much in the run game, but listen, I thought he was going to be a shining star, came over from the Jets. I thought he was going to sneak into that center position, but nope, my man got fucking cut. That shows you how much I fucking know. And he's gone off the fucking team. Billy Price is in there. Maybe Billy Price fucking, lights a fire under his fucking injury ass and starts at center. And Nick Gates still moves to left guard, which I think Nick Gates would be a monster at left guard. But then again, what do I know, man? Poor Jonathan Harrison.
I mean, look, especially after we signed him and everything, I was surprised to see him not make the cut. But you're right. Look, we went out. We got these other two new guys in there, and maybe they feel that one of them could play better than he could, or they're going to be able to move a couple things around. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, that was definitely our I guess most shocking, mainly because Mike had him in his starting lineup. But
oh well,
yeah. John, I know you had a couple of things to say about Harrison.
Yeah, I mean, he had a good as far as camp notes and stuff like that from the Beaver reporters. Apparently, had a good training camp. Obviously, when he was playing in the preseason games, he did look like probably our best second string lineman on the field. The games he was in, but hey, you know what? He wasn't good enough for Joe Judge and this coaching staff apparently, or maybe he got hurt and they just didn't say anything. Just gonna retire, whatever the story is. But like I said, I think the key takeaway isn't so much that Jonathan Harrison got cut, but what it says about the starting five players and their health, especially Shane Lemieux. They wouldn't be doing this if they weren't confident that Shane Lemieux was able to go out there and play healthy. I can't fathom them thinking that he's questionable to play week one and they said, okay, all of your replacements that have been here the entire summer, you guys can go fucking, go find another team. We're just gonna pick up somebody's trash and throw it in front of our fucking.
Harrison wasn't like a left guard, that was Kenny Wiggins' fucking spot. And Kenny Wiggins played the whole time and he got cut. So you're right. Maybe Shane Lemieux is ready because, Kenny Wiggins was the guy at left guard. He was going to start if Shane Lemieux wasn't going to play. And then now he's out in the street.
Having the offensive depth there. If you're going to chop off all of your depth, that means that you have to be very confident in your starters and to be able to make it through the game.
Or just not that, or the opposite, where you're just like not even close to being confident with any of your backups.
Right.
You got to see it
without having guys in play.
Generally,
that's the way it looked.
Hello?
I don't think you would do that unless you knew you had an attack plan. That's all.
Well, yeah, and obviously they had some guys on their list, and whether or not they were able to go get all of them, or they got the guys that they were eyeing up that they think that would have been the better fill-ins. That's what it is. I mean, listen, Wiggins, let's face it, that dude was getting fucking beat up, blown up the ball. Like, he just wasn't looking good, man. I don't know what it was. Like he couldn't be there. We needed something else there instead of him. I mean, let's be fucking honest there, So see him go, yes. Harrison, like you guys said, I don't know. Maybe, he just didn't fit in right. I don't know. I don't get it. But I mean, outside of that, as far as the offensive line is concerned, that was pretty much it, right? As far as any, like the surprises from there.
Maybe a little bit with Chad Slade just being an offensive tackle. He played well and he got cut too, but it just, like I said, with Purd and, Thomas and, Nate, those are the guys. That's it.
That's who we're rolling with. So they could play both sides if need be. I guess they feel comfortable enough with depth there. And look, injuries do occur, but hopefully nobody fucking gets hurt. It's very minor if they do, so we don't have to worry about this. But I know another guy that we had, and we were kind of pulling for him, man. But I know you guys definitely had a little bit more extra pull on there because you were rooting them on. John, you take this one, man. Like who is another guy that we're a little surprised about?
I think David Sills. Obviously, there's a lot of people on the David Sills bandwagon. We're super excited about his potential to make the roster this year. I think if he doesn't get picked up, he's definitely going to the practice squad. But I get this is another one of those situations where I think the move they're making today tells you what they think about 2 weeks from now. David Sills would be like your backup behind Kenny Golladay, big body receiver. Has a big catch radius, can get open, whatever. Mm-hmm. That's supposed to be your backup for Kenny Golladay as far as like that role in the offense as far as big body receiver is concerned. The fact that they cut him, they wouldn't be doing that. Not somebody who has such a good connection with Daniel Jones. They raved about David Sills all preseason. They have in years past. They like the kid a lot. He's shown that he can play football in this league. But I think because they know, but they know Kenny Golladay is good to go, that they just didn't need the roster spot to be taken up by David Sills. He's going to get on the practice squad, and Kenny Golladay is healthy enough where he's going to be going out there week 1, week 2, week 3, and he's going to go fucking ball out with Daniel Jones.
Listen, I honestly think it came down to a little bit more of the special teams aspect of things, right? We went out, we traded up for that kid Robinson because he was supposed to bring some elements to that game as well, and he's out. We don't know him. Maybe he'll be back week 1. I don't know. He's out with a broken fucking stomach or some shit. And then fucking, and when it comes down to CJ Broad and Pettis, what they bring to the special teams is so much more than what Sills could bring. And I guess even though he's having this fantastic preseason, those two guys can fill in at the wide receiver role if need be. So, I think it was more of that. Dude, listen, Galladay's had a fucking history of being hurt. Okay. So, like, now that he hasn't even fucking shown up and we see him standing over there in a fucking side like a fucking statue just catching passes, like, we can't even see this fucking dude run, like, he can't even jog a route.
They showed videos of him running routes and catching passes.
Yeah, right. Were they from this year?
Yeah.
I think that shit was like digitally.
It was from the last preseason game.
Giant shit on there. I'll just say it, dude. Like Kenny Golladay worries me a little. That's all.
They lined up to practice today. So it was basically like almost like a walkthrough practice, but they were out there and they looked like they were ready to go. So now it looks like they're turning it on. So, Rudolph was out there, Tony, Golladay.
Wait, who?
Yeah.
No,
Everybody's
you
there.
sure it was like one of that Kadarius Toney?
Everybody except Evan Ingram, which he's going to see a doctor about his calf injury and whatever. So we'll see what happens with him.
I like Evan Ingram, man, and if I could fucking make it happen, I'd rather him be exactly who we hoped he could be when we drafted him. But bro, like when you see a game like fucking like this past game, man, you see him just make error after error after error. He's unplayable, bro.
He's a wide receiver, John. He's not a fucking tight end. He don't block.
Is he though, bro? If you can't get in the end zone, if you can't catch passes, are you a wide receiver?
I don't know.
Or are you just a beast athlete that was good enough to skate through and make it to where you've made it?
He gets open. He gets fucking open, though.
But it was preseason, guys. It was preseason. Why are we giving Evan Ingram such a fucking hard time? It was only like a preseason. If Andrew Thomas can get a pass, I'm sure a fucking Pro Bowler from last year can get a goddamn
But here's the thing. I have 2017, 18, 19, and 20 seasons to go off of.
It's a lot.
Knowing what Evan Ingram, the tragedies that he's involved with on a weekly basis. And it just showed up all in one shot in one fucking drive right on the goal line. Andrew Thomas, he had a handful of bad games, but as many bad games as he had very good games last year. So the sample size is 50-50 at worst. Evan Ingram's, it's like 95-5 on a good fucking day.
Yeah.
Bad.
I mean, who am I to say, like, you know, for Evan Ingram, you can't block? Like, I'm not going out there and blocking those 300-pound fucking lunatics out there. Like, you know, so it's like, who am I to fucking say? But like, he had enough time to fucking learn how to block, though. John's right.
I mean, listen, like, that was always his knock. Even coming out of college, was that he was definitely more of a receiver tight end than he would be blocking. That's the reason why we always carried extra tight ends around to have them in on blocking downs. It was only because last year got such a focal point because of the injuries that he had to be out there all the time. So now people are seeing that these certain weaknesses that he had that he just didn't improve that much upon are now getting blown up because he's out there way more than he should. And that's the reason why we brought in old man Rudolph, because I said it from day one. He's going to be more of that end zone kind of guy. He's going to be more of that guy to come in on blocking downs. You know, that's what Rudolph is here for. But when he's not out there, here we go, showing, you know, exposing Evan Ingram all over again. I think with him having to play a little bit slightly different role again and not having to be the number one receiver, which he was for a few weeks last year, you're going to see a little bit better of you're going to see the better of Evan Ingram more than you'll see the worst. And that's just what I'm going to go out on saying. Are you going to still deal with drops? Yes. Are you still going to deal with fucking missed blocks? Probably. But it's going to be a lot less sort of focused on, simply because he's not going to be in there, hopefully, on those type of situations any longer. I mean, look, in all honesty, you take away that he didn't score on that fucking play. Well, you know what's going to get him motivated to do that kind of scoring and figure out how to get in that end zone? When his ass is coming off the fucking field, because now old man Rudolph is going in and he's watching from the fucking sideline. That should get you motivated. That's how you get these fucking players getting their heads back in the game. Or maybe he's just the type where he's like, fuck it, let him do that shit. We'll find out. But I think that's what a lot of that was exposed when it comes to Evan Ingram. But again, you know what? He should fucking, that's not what he's there for. We knew it. Like, and now we're going to see, now you're seeing the reasons why we always had that blocking tight end on the team.
There's only a certain amount of tight ends that could do all, like Kelsey, Kittle, you know, Kyle Pitts. Since I drafted him, he's going to be able to do everything. But a lot of these guys, you know, it sucks that Evan Ingram, like, never got to that point where we didn't have to waste the money in a sense on a guy like Kyle Rudolph. Maybe could have used it somewhere else, offensive lineman. But hey, you know, that's what it is, man. That's his game. That's who he is. So we just gotta, you know, hopefully they utilize him the right way, the weapon. But you know, Jules is right. That's 100% why we got Kyle.
Definitely. I've been saying that the entire time. You know, ever since we signed old man Rudolph. After I called him that a bunch of times, I said the real reason there is for that red zone and blocking. That's it. You know what I mean? And you're going to see a lot more of that. So look, when everything comes in, maybe they'll key on him because they know that it's going to be some sort of pass, or, you know, they'll mix it up and everything else. But, you know, that's what he's good for, man. He could be a good receiver at times. He runs great routes. We know that. So, you know, that's what we're going to try to utilize him for. That's it.
I'm just saying. Yep. You could win a Super Bowl with Caden Smith and fucking Kyle Rudolph as your tight end 1, tight end 2.
Maybe. Well, we
Not
still have some
maybe.
other things to say.
Definite.
But another big cut, because we know that this was becoming a slow fan favorite because of one preseason game, was my guy too. I thought he was definitely going to make the team. I thought he was going to be running back 3, but that's Corey Clement. Corey Clement did not make the cut. Instead, and we were reminded, our buddy Colm over out of Northern Ireland that was on the show a couple of months back, he called it. He said, yo, I booked this shit right now. And I think that was like April, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
He was like, book it right now. Right. Well, yeah, it had to be the end of April, right? Beginning of May.
It was May.
And Gary Brightwell will make the team, and he'll probably be the 3rd running back. And sure enough, here we are sitting here August 31st. And my man Gary Brightwell is the 3rd running back. So hats off there. Great fucking call on his part.
All the way from across the pond.
Surprising because, Cullen Gillespie and Eli Penny all made it. Eli Penny had some nice runs during the preseason as well.
Yeah.
I think it was really the fumbles is what really kind of caught him in a way. And that's sort of what the difference was, because these other guys weren't fumbling the ball. And you know what? The number one thing that a running back has to do, sure, besides having vision and speed and the agility to make these amazing cuts, but they got to be able to secure the ball, man. If you can't fucking run through a hole and we got to worry that you're going to get hit and fumble that shit, nobody wants to deal with it. You got a guy, and I would totally butcher his first name, so I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, but that now backup running back on New England, Stevenson, one of the things that Belichick hates to do is because he's always scared of ball security, so he feels that these older veteran backs always have that. He kept this kid and traded Sonny Michel because the kid didn't fumble all preseason. He looks fantastic. And it looks like they may have stolen a great pickup for them. So that's a huge thing. And Brightwell didn't fumble. These guys held on and secured the ball. So I think Clement kind of fucked himself when he had those fumbles. And that was the difference maker there. And that's why he got caught.
Dude, I love all the people that were like, when Clement had a good first game, he was running all over the field. Everybody's like, why did we fucking pay Booker that money? Fuck you, Gettleman. This is exactly fucking why, because he fumbled his fucking his job away. That was his kind of his shtick too, even in Philly. He fumbled the ball, kind of often. And the way our running backs were running, like Jules, you said, they all ran great. And even the last preseason game on Sunday, I mean, we got to give our, the line, a little bit of shit, but hey, they all ran the ball pretty fucking well. And that has to do with the offensive line as well. So, I mean, we got guys there. So, hey, maybe Barkley, could use a nice little rest. Booker T comes in, Brightwell comes in. Hey, I'll take it.
Shit. I mentioned this for both of the other 2 players. And I think this might be the most important of those. Well, it definitely is, actually. I think Corey Clement getting cut is another good sign as to what that means for Saquon Barkley.
I guess that's gonna be the theme tonight, right? Another good sign.
I'm sorry, it just is what it is.
Title of the show.
Yeah. What was that song for? I forgot who sung it. It was like, I saw
Ace of Base. Ace of Base.
Ace of Base is on tonight's show.
John is Ace of Base tonight.
I'm sorry. It's just you can't be 2 weeks away from the season in what is a monumental year for this franchise, for everybody fucking involved. You can't be throwing away, potential people who are going to be contributing week 1 on maybes on your healthy players or your injured players.
They look like they threw away the garbage.
If they don't think that, but you still need to have guys that are familiar with your system. This isn't baseball. You can't just get guys from a trade and plug them in that night and he's good to go. That just doesn't happen. Right. They're gonna work you in with a couple packages, and then as the weeks go on, you'll get integrated more and more into the scheme. But it's not baseball. You can't do that. So I think Corey Clement getting cut just goes to show that RB3 won't be getting a ton of touches. And I don't think that they're thinking 90% with fucking, with Booker right out of the gate. I think they're thinking 60 to 70% is going to be Saquon, 30 will be Booker, and 10 will be Brightwell. And that's a terrific sign, man, because there's a lot of doubt. People were saying as of a couple of weeks ago that, Saquon might not play into week 3, week 4, week 5.
Right.
Motherfucker's playing week 1. He's going to put 150 fucking yards up on the Broncos on overrated orange. And then 4 days later, we're gonna fucking
Get it up
smack
to
the
him.
Redskins.
Hey, listen, Barkley was he was running up and down the sideline during a preseason game, like waving the
He's
towel.
flying,
Like, he
bro.
looks fine. Like, he looks fucking fine.
Flying.
He was into the game, like, man.
Bro, I'm telling you, the kid's fine. Galladay's fine. All they're doing is playing fucking poker. The fucking Broncos see through it. They know these guys are fucking healthy. They're not tricking anybody. All they're doing is giving the newspaper something to fucking write about. These guys are healthy. They're all going to fucking play. Tony's not going to be on the field for, 100% of snaps. Tony's going to be on the field for 15, 20, 25% of the offensive snaps. He's probably going to be a return guy on either one of the two receiving teams, punt team, whatever the case is. They're going to give him a package, and he's going to work him in slowly, like I said, with somebody new. And Saquon's going to be out there, bro.
Did you guys see did you see the after the Andrew Thomas shit game, Mina Kimes came on like, the Giants are fucking in trouble. They better get everything fucking settled. Like, can you be any more fucking dramatic? Like, this fucking media, you're right, John. It's like they just want to fucking write something bad about the Giants all the goddamn time. And then it makes people believe that. It makes these idiots fucking believe that.
Yeah.
I'm sick of that shit, man. It's like a brainwashing technique.
Bro, you want to hear brainwashing, bro? You listen. I don't anymore. I just listen to Giants podcasts and I listen to music. I can't do ESPN radio. I can't do the fan anymore at all. But every once in a while, like after the Giants game, I'll listen to Humpty, Canty, and Rothenberg. I'll listen to the podcast. I'm in the truck a lot. I gotta listen to shit. So I'll listen to them, bro. And it is absurd. They literally, bro, whatever the program director is or whatever the story is, their bosses must hand them a script and say, this is what you're going to say in the first hour. You're going to say something different in the second hour from a different topic. And then you're going to repeat yourself in the third hour. And basically, we can just play this episode every single day, all the way through into the games, and beat the same things into your head over and over and over. And the thing is, because people aren't smart anymore, people are very fucking stupid. If they get told the same thing enough, slow enough, articulate enough, they eventually believe it. And that's why the Giants get what they got.
That's what's happening.
I mean, listen, yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be that someone's intelligence level is off, right? But it's more like naive because you'll continuously hear it, right? So you start hearing it and hearing it and hearing it, and you forget to form your own opinion, right? Because you start to hear this shit, you're like, well, maybe my opinion is fucking off. You almost get insecure, right? You're like, wow, should I be this confident in this fucking team? I mean, listen to what all these guys keep saying about it. Like, am I just being a homer? Like, so all that shit starts playing into it. But one thing that I've been talking about like crazy is our fucking defense. And I don't know about you guys, and we should be focused mainly on offense because I know I could at least say this, and I think you guys agree, but you let me know if you see something different, is that there weren't too many surprise cuts on defense. Not only that, the only thing that I was really surprised was that we kept 11 defensive backs and 10 linebackers. I mean, to me, that just seems like a little bit of a fucking overkill, but that's literally what we have on this fucking squad. And, it pisses me off, which I'll go into a little bit more about next week, but it pisses me off that we traded up in our third round to get a guy that's not even fucking ready, didn't even step on the goddamn field. And yet you're keeping 11 fucking D-backs. Like, you can only play 4, maybe 5 in a nickel. Like, how many fucking D-backs are you playing? Maybe we're going to a dime and you got to play 6? Like, what the fuck? I don't get it.
They're valuable, Jules. Like, that's what it is. Maybe a trade is coming, like, after a few more additions and subtractions and all that kind of shit. I mean, Sam Beal made the fucking team, for Christ's sake, even though, like, he got better. Like, he played pretty good, man. Like, I was trying to find, like, some mistakes about him, except for that one, bonehead fucking play a couple weeks ago in Cleveland. Maybe he had the lights in his eyes or some shit. But other than that, like, he looked good in practice in the game. Like, he was okay.
And listen, hold on, get me wrong here, because I'm going through the list again and again and again, and because there's so many fucking names, I feel like I missed it. Is Robinson not on the list, or do we get to put him on IR? Like, how does that fucking work?
First 6 games.
So he's on IR already.
He's on the pup.
Oh my goodness, bro! Like,
that sucks. That sucks.
I mean, that's just ridiculous, dude. We traded up for this guy.
He did get hurt though.
Quality interior depth. But you fuck this injury shit, man. Look, one of the biggest things is you look at people's careers, right? Let's just flip it real quick to baseball because I know you're a diehard Yankee fan. Why do you think Don Mattingly's not in the Hall of Fame? Right? Because you couldn't stay healthy. You see, the reason why these guys are great players, you look like Emmitt Smith or you look like Walter Payton. It's because they could fucking stay healthy. They had a long career. They were able to Tom Brady, right? All these fucking names. I could go on and on and on and on and on. But the reason why they could do that kind of shit is because they stayed healthy. That's part of the game. If you can't stay healthy, you end up becoming a bust. Plain and fucking simple. And we traded him for a guy. Clearly, we don't fucking need him. All right. And now he's just another dude that's sitting on the fucking roster that we don't fucking need. Don't even get me started with that shit, bro. But it's just a fucking point.
I don't know about that. Like, I think, like, if we get it back after 6 games, shit.
Bro, how do you even know how good this dude is? How many guys look fantastic in college and then they can't translate that into the game, the NFL?
A lot of people want him, though.
It's not even week 1 of his first season, bro.
Boss.
Jesus Christmas.
Boss. Yo, a lot of people wanted
him. Sam Beal, didn't he miss all last year? And like how he fucking looked on defense when he came back. Now you're going to take a kid that didn't play. Like, let's start looking at some of these rookies, right? These top fucking rookies. Jamar Chase, the biggest one that we talk about. The dude didn't play last year. He didn't play last year on a collegiate level. Came into the NFL. You want to talk about being rusty? The dude hasn't caught a fucking, I'm sorry, I think he caught 1 out of 4 passes. Like, that's how fucking rusty Jamar Chase is. And that was one of your top 5 picks. So come on, dude. I could go on with this kind of shit. You miss a season.
You shouldn't. You're embarrassing yourself.
Career, you got to do double to get back.
You're bananas, bro. It's not even week 1,
man.
It's not even week 1.
I mean, I'm gonna hold out optimism. Like, I get your point.
Christmas.
I know you want the guys to practice. I get that because then they fall behind because it's NFL program. It sucks. Because they're rookies, they need it. They do need it, John. They need it, man. They fucking need the experience. I hate that. I'm agreeing with Jules. Trust me, I hate it.
Listen.
But he's right. He's right, though. He's fucking right. Like, I'm not gonna knock him and say these guys are bust. That's insane, Jules. You're an insane person.
Why else we got 11 fucking D-backs, bro? Like,
it's a passing league, bro. You need cornerbacks.
We got 12 right now. Like,
it's one of the most injured positions in fucking
Why do you think most not so like involved Giants fans are kind of like they don't even really know who McKinney is, and McKinney was a way better talent than this fucking dude. Like, McKinney and him don't even fucking compare. McKinney was a first round pick. This guy was a second, third at best. They played at different fucking types of schools. All right. Obviously, playing at Alabama is a lot different than playing in most programs in this country. That's just fucking sad. And McKinney didn't even come back that strong. He ain't even starting right now. You're going to be like, oh, well, where could he start? Should he start over Logan Ryan? Should he start over Peppers? Yeah, maybe. But because he missed last year, our second round pick ain't ready to make that start because he missed so much time. And it's going to be this season that it's going to need to take. And that's part of the reason why I'm not sure Peppers comes back next year. We'll see. Peppers is going to have an outstanding Pro Bowl year for us to re-sign him. I'm going to be honest with you guys, because I think McKinney's going to step up, and that's that new guy. That's our future. And it's because he missed that rookie year that we had to go and sign Logan Ryan, even though he became the captain of the team on that defensive side, him and Blake. I get all that. But we didn't expect that. I mean, that was the whole reason why we brought him in. Right. So like, like that kind of shit hurts, man. When you don't have these guys, like I keep saying, Tony is light years behind at this point. It's not even fucking close, man. Because the dude ain't on the fucking field. And we don't even know what he's been in the doghouse for all we know.
Jesus Christ, man.
Just say.
I just need you to do yourself a favor. Just partner to partner here. You need to log out of all social media. You need to never go to a deli or gas station or anything that sells newspapers. And you need to just cleanse yourself of this media rape that you've experienced over the last few months. And honestly, bro, I really thought that me and Mike did an awesome job kind of pulling you over to the blue side, over the course of the summer. But, as soon as training camp started, I don't know, like you're wilding, bro. I mean, I get to complain about poor play on the field, Andrew Thomas not doing good and all that stuff. But you were saying that we weren't going to be scoring points when none of the players, like the roster that you took from the cut players was who was playing, and you're saying the Giants aren't going to score points because those guys weren't scoring. You know what I mean? Like we gotta just let it play out. If you're a good team, you don't need any one of your draft picks to be contributors in major ways. Ideally, the most ideal situation for a football team is to have a solid mix of young players on rookie contracts and guys in their prime, and you have your draft picks. You're able to bring them in over the first season or two of their careers and turn them into professional NFL football players for your team. That's what you want. You don't want to have to rely on first, second, third round picks to come in and save your fucking team. You want to be able to groom these players because
it's
college
not
game
saving, but come on, man. Look at how some of these other guys are already getting pushed up. Yo, there's guys that are saying CeeDee Lamb after this season might be a top 10 fucking wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? They're talking up De'Ami Brown. De'Ami Brown. I'm probably saying his name wrong. If I am, I apologize. But De'Ami Brown, the fourth wide receiver right now in Washington, they're saying because he's gotten a little extra time to play and get more reps with that first team in camp because Curtis Samuels was sidelined, that he's a name to get excited about. You see, you want to get excited about some of these young players.
Bro, you're talking about media headlines. You're embarrassing Big Blue offensive.
Like, you're not
right
excited about Ojulari. You're not excited about him. You're not excited at McKinney being back. Like, you want to get excited about some of these guys. You don't expect them to come in and have 100 catches for 1,500 yards and 10 touchdowns. But you also want to be excited. You want to see them contributing. You want to feel that, like, you know what, Tony can go out there and get me like 50 catches, 800 yards, and like 8 touchdowns, like Slayton did year one, except he had 10, right? You know, you want that excitement. That makes you feel good. It gets you excited about the season because here's some of your young picks that even look good. So, man, when they get mixed in with the veterans, they're going to kick fucking ass. Not, yo, this dude's been MIA. They won't even undisclosed injury. Like, who the fuck wants to hear that, man?
Bro,
I see this garbage.
Your entire fan experience, what you're describing is your fan experience is seen through the perspective of the New York Giants beat writers. Every single thing that you've, bro, everything you just said is.
They say that you want to get excited about a rookie. They don't never give him a fucking credit like that. They don't get excited.
About a rookie, but I'm not going to get excited about a tweet up from fucking Jordan Renan saying, "Oh, great fucking route by Tony in practice." No, if I want to get excited about the guy, I'll go watch him actually play football in college. All those things that he actually really did on a football field.
Oh, but you don't get excited.
I'll be excited about what he gets on the field.
But you don't get excited when you hear Daniel Jones goes 9 for 9 on 7-on-7 drills. That don't get you excited, right? Because you haven't talked about it on this show, right? Oh, when he threw a fucking dime pass. Bro, you got mad excited over that shit. That's what I'm talking about. You want that energy. You want that shit for week 4. You want to go in there and be like, yo, I can't wait till he does that shit on Overrated Orange. But when they ain't out there, they ain't doing shit. I don't know what to get. It's like a fucking mystery. I pull like a big fucking question mark. I open up the box like it's Christmas or something.
These guys, you don't know what you're going to get anyways. If these guys need to play. Third and fourth round picks are playing in practice, it has no bearing on whether or not they're going to be good in their fucking third, fourth, and fifth years in the league.
But you're 100% right about that.
Listen up.
Get excited. It builds up some fucking
bro,
some excitement and like
$60 on Madden and fucking play it, bro.
You know what? Like, I'm pretty sure people in Cincinnati and around the area have gone out and bought a whole bunch of fucking Chase jerseys. How many people do you know own a fucking Tony jersey right now? 0. Except for Tony, his mom, and his family.
Bro, that's a good thing. You have to understand.
And maybe a couple of his boys that he put a jersey for, you know?
So the
you want your player out there, bro. But the fact that our team can exist and be a successful team without this draft pick being the savior shows where this roster is and what the expectations for this team should be.
That's exciting. And signed a huge fucking receiver to come in.
That might be exciting.
We needed that guy to step up and be that dude. We still have Shepard. We still have Slayton. We have a Pro Bowl tight end. Like, these were just extra pieces. And let's not forget, Saquon's coming back. So, yeah, but there's still a lot of question marks. And like I said, you wanted this guy to have a role year one. That's what you expect out of your first round pick, to have a role.
Yes.
On the sideline waving to
these pieces are supposed to take us to the next level. That's what they're supposed to do. The 20th overall pick has to be playing 80% of the fucking goddamn time. There's no question about that. That's fucking football 101. Let me tell you fucking that. Just like you want your left tackle that got drafted in the first round to play fucking every fucking game, every single minute. You want that fucking guy out of the field. Later on draft picks, third, fourth, like that guy you said, like,
I don't give a fuck.
Jules, you said Aaron Robinson, like, all right, he's on the pup list. Like, shit happens with him, but I don't expect him to be on the field contributing right away, playing 100% of the game. That's different. But as far as fucking like the number one fucking draft pick, he needs to be on the field. But injuries do happen. It sucks. and you want to get excited. You want to fucking look forward to that. And, but all this mystery bullshit, I don't fucking like that kind of shit either, man. Like, I want to know what the fuck's happened. Like, is he doing something wrong in the fucking, like, in the classroom? What's really fucking going on here? And I get why a lot of people are going out there questioning that, because it's not like you don't see him walking around with a walking boot on. You don't see him on fucking crutches. There's something iffy there. If he's out week 1 and he's ready to fucking roll, let's fucking go, man. But if he's not, there's going to be a lot of fucking questions, man, because when we're going against a good defense like Denver and Washington, you need your fucking playmakers on the field, and that dude's electric, and he could be a difference maker as far as an NFL game.
Absolutely, but it is 2 weeks before the season starting.
12 days.
And like 11 hours. Countdown is fucking on.
We're writing players off.
Well, I know you got the official countdown to week 1.
Yeah, 11 days, 19 hours.
I'm not writing anybody off. It's just like, the facts are the facts. I mean, well, I'm not like, listen, like I said, I'm not worried about the later round draft picks. I'm worried about our first and second round pick. Ojulari's on the fucking field. He's fucking
that dude.
He's starting
week 1, right?
He came out as one of the starters.
So, I know they haven't made it official yet, but he was out there on fucking Sunday night with the rest of the starters. So, I think it's a clear indication there. See, that's
I'm not saying that
why have I not so bad about the defense? Not once.
I'm not saying that.
They don't say
that. Saying you have time to develop them, and to be going bonkers in fucking August because they haven't played in the preseason and they're not showing their hand of what these guys can or can't do right now.
Okay, John. But like, what do you say if Galladay's fucking he misses week 1? Say if Tony misses week 1, who we can roll out with there? Fucking Shepard and CJ Board? Like, what the fuck?
Shepard, Slayton, Saquon,
Slayton got banged up. Like he got to practice today. Are we gonna roll him as 1 and 2? Like Shepard 1, Slayton 2? I'm not very confident in that. Going against those Denver fucking corners. Like we need more guys to get open and go against linebackers.
Last year we couldn't get separation, and now we're going against 2 better corners in the league, and literally fucking you're gonna just have the same fucking 2 receivers going out there. The whole reason why was to free one of them up and let them play in a slot so they can go against one of the slot corners and not the top 2 corners outside. And that's why we brought in Galladay. Yo, he's got to go. He's got to be at least a fucking decoy, man.
Yo,
so he could draw that attention.
And Slayton with the drop the other night, and he had a bunch of drops last year too. That was a fucking big problem with him. That's a big problem with him taking to the fucking next level. We need him to fucking get actually fucking good hands and not stone hands to become a fucking like a number 2 legit. That's why I have him still at like number 3, possibly 4, because he fucking drops the ball and he did it again.
Yeah. And listen, Tony on a healthy fucking or whatever it is, because we don't know, it's undisclosed, but with a healthy fucking Tony, he could have ran that spot. Like, that's the type of talent you bring in as a first-round guy. You look at Rondell Moore. Rondell Moore was fighting for that 3rd spot out in Arizona. You look at Marshall Jr. Marshall Jr. literally took over that 3rd spot, and they got Robbie Anderson and fucking DJ Moore. And they already have 2 quality dudes, and he ran that fucking 3rd spot. That's what you want out of your first-round pick. And Marshall Jr. wasn't even a first-round pick. He went mid-second. I'm trying to say, Rashad Bateman was ready to fucking take that job from Mark Hollywood. If not, and this is over in Baltimore because they brought in Sammy Watkins, he was definitely sewing up the 3rd spot. Bro, that's what I'm talking about. That's what you want. So maybe he comes in the field so that you could do a quick screen pass to him and let him run off. Could you imagine having Saquon fake to the left and you dump him something to the right out of the backfield? Like, that's insanity, bro. How are you going to stop that kind of shit? And we don't have any of that right now.
But that's what we need against Denver and a team like Washington. We need to have those guys available. And God, John, I hope you're right. I'm hoping they're all fucking back and ready to roll, because going against top-notch defense in the NFL, we need your fucking playmakers. And if all you Giant fans that watched the games last year, when we didn't have any fucking playmakers on the field, when we had a number of fucking wide receiver and CJ Board and Wayne Gallman as a number 1 running back, you seen what happened to our fucking offense. Okay. And you all blaming Jason Garrett for his creativity. Like, stop. Like, he didn't have fucking shit to go out there with. So if we get our playmakers going back week 1 and we're fucking full squad, I want to hear that Wednesday or that Thursday before the Sunday game, like, all our guys are going to be ready to fucking go. Nobody's going to be a game dying decision. Man, I might fucking be calling you, John, to bet more money on the Giants to win that fucking game I tell you, man, because they got a lot more weapons than fucking Denver does, especially with Teddy fucking Bridgewater. But we'll get into that fucking game next week.
That's coming up next week. Sure.
Is if we don't have Rudolph, we don't have Galladay, we don't have Tony, we don't have Saquon, we don't have Lemieux available to play, at least 2/3 of those players available to play on fucking September 12th. Excuse me, hold on.
Yep, September 12th. That's when we're playing the overrated.
September 12th. If we don't have those guys, 3 of those 5 guys available to play, then shame on Joe Judge, and we need to pull back the reins on who this guy is as a head coach then. If you just took the best of your depth, threw it out on guys who are not ready and you're not sure, and they end up not being ready 2 weeks before, and you threw David Sills in the garbage, you threw fucking Jonathan Harris and whoever else that could have been on the offensive line for us health-wise, or any of these guys. Bachman, shame on Joe Judge. Shame on Dave Gettleman. Shame on the Giants.
Whoa, wait, I'm sorry. I was back here on that one. I didn't hear that too much. Who was the last name that's out there?
I said the Giants. I said Dave Gettleman. I said Joe Judge. Because
if you're, I'm gonna wrap it there.
Is this the invasion of the body snatchers? Did somebody fucking get a hold of them?
No, but that's what I'm saying. I don't. It goes against anything that they would have done. You're not gonna roll the dice on the beginning of the season on guys that you don't think are gonna play. Like, that's asinine. It defies any type of reasonable logic, and I don't see that Joe Judge has done anything since we've met him that would say that he would do something so outrageous as to get rid of all these guys without having supreme confidence that our guys could be not only available but 100% healthy and good enough to play and not get injured, because they do have a game 3 days later in fucking Washington.
And honestly, that's what's scary, right? Not necessarily their defense or, any of that bullshit, because look, it is what it is. And we're going to play tough teams at times or good defenses, right? That's just the NFL. But it's that turnaround, right? So if we're still not 100%, or you get a guy that goes in there, maybe not at 100% and gets a little more banged up against Denver, he ain't going to be ready for Thursday. That turnaround. That's so much pressure on this Denver game. And obviously we're going into more detail about it next week. But that's part of the reason why seeing this preseason and seeing things unfold and not seeing guys in practice and not seeing anything out of your first round pick, it gets you a little nervous, man, because in all honesty, we got to beat that Denver game, because if not, man, there's a really good chance with a short turnaround and not 100% healthy squad that Washington game is going to be tough and that we may not come out with a W in that one. And again, we're getting way too far ahead. I get it. But that's the reality. You got to keep that in mind. And that's why these last couple of weeks have been under a microscope and have been so scrutinized, because literally you're looking at that and you're saying to yourself, shit, well, this is what we're putting out, and I can't even get healthy guys on the fucking football field. What am I going to play with on a short turnaround that following Thursday? So that puts so much more pressure on Denver. And by the way, guys, I know, Mike, you might have seen this when you were down in AC and all this other shit, but that spread opened at 1. We are now 2.5 point dog. We'll see where we are next week. Yeah. But we're 2.5 point underdog. That means if we were in Denver, we'd probably be getting 5 or 6. Like, bro, that's nothing to laugh at, man. That's how little these odds makers look. Why? Because we ain't got nobody healthy right now. If not, we're coming out there with the same team that we had last year.
Bro, you don't think that Vegas knows that these guys are healthy?
I hope so. Well, listen, we're going to see that in the next
days. They're just
that's why I'm not breaking down that game too much just yet. Because we got a week
billions of dollars from people right now.
And we got the next week.
Well, Mike, real quick, did we give all the details on that contest? I know we mentioned it a little earlier at the beginning of the podcast, and then we got so caught up with the game and the 53-man roster that we sort of got sidetracked. Now, Mike, I know you're the main guy, running this one. We're all going to get on board, but it definitely has to do with picking games in the NFL all season long. We're going to be setting up a contest. We already got a link set up. So we're going to start tweeting that link alongside with the podcast, in addition to putting it on Facebook, because you have us at the Big Blue Offensive Podcast. That's one of our groups that we're a part of. We're posting it every single week. We're going to put that up. That's going to be going up either tomorrow or the next day, but you're going to get the link in there as well. That'll be part of one of the announcements, in addition to the podcast, like I put in there every week. to start putting that out in some of the other groups that I'm in, that we're all a part of. And that's what you're going to be looking at. But Mike, I know you definitely have some more details regarding that.
Yeah, well, I tweeted it out on the BBO NYG podcast Twitter account. If you go to playactionpools.com and you look for the big, the BBO NYG podcast pick'em pool. So basically, like, it's going to be a pool we're going to have going on for the whole year, every week. So if you think you're a football genius, you have to pick every game, from week one on throughout the year, but you have to pick it with the spread. So that's not easy to do. We're not in kindergarten where you're going to pick like just winners and losers. Okay. You got to pick with the spread. Okay. So and whoever, has the most points at the end of the year, we're going to have a little prize announcement next week. So whoever's the winner is going to, possibly win some money, some other stuff, and we'll have some more details how you become eligible for that. But, for right now, just, log on to playactionpools.com and look for the BBO NYG podcast pick'em pool and sign up. Get in there first, get one of the, get your account set up and get ready to roll. Do your homework, man, and bet the Giants every week like I'm going to do.
All right.
We know John is.
This is because I like you guys. I gotta make sure I get this out.
And we'll be making picks throughout the year. We might even do a little side contest depending on how well the site takes off. But they're a brand new site too. They're excited about their launch. They launched a couple weeks back, if I'm not mistaken, right? Right, Mike?
Yeah, like a few weeks. Yeah, like a week and a half, 2 weeks.
They got so many other things there. So definitely just go check out that site, playactionpools.com, right? They got different things for you to set up as far as like survivor pools. They have different contests that they'll be hosting as well, where they involve college. So, people that are listening, if you're big college fans, there'll be some crazy action going on that like starts on Thursday night. And you basically, or as soon as a college game goes off, because sometimes they go off as early as Wednesday. And literally, if you could just survive throughout the week, you'll go all the way till Monday. And if there's a bunch of survivors, I think it continues into the following week till somebody finally wins, and there's prizes with that as well. So we'll be doing a lot of different contests. You'll hear it throughout, but the main one is the BBO NYG podcast one, obviously. And that's the one that we'll be, talking about for the next fucking 18 weeks, probably 19 weeks, right? So that's going to be fun. We're going to have a lot of contests with that. Hopefully that when, we do have a couple of winners, it's not one of us, because we'll be competing in that too, and, we'll have you on the show so you can kind of come on and talk, but there's going to be a lot more details in regards to what we're going to do for the winner or winners of that plan. So definitely go check it out. One of the things is going to be subscribing. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to it on anywhere you find us, Apple, iTunes, whatever the heck we are. We're on there, BBO NYG. Subscribe, and you know what? Write a description down, man. Tell us what you think. We're always telling you to hit us up on Twitter at the BBO NYG podcast, but man, hit us up on that too. Leave a freaking like and tell us something about it. Go on the Facebook and send me a message or some message. I don't care, because you know where you're going to find us. But you know what? I think that wraps up another episode for us, so definitely look. You got Mike Trainer, MFT, Mike Trainer on Twitter, BBO NYG on Twitter. You got the NYG Slap Parade on Twitter. And then you got fucking NYC Jules on one, right? Or Jules NYC 1. But like I said, hit us up, go on the contest, sign up, subscribe and like, and we'll talk to you next week. Peace.
Peace.